Hello everybody and welcome back to the Working Ink channel. And a problem that worries me quite a lot of the time is how easy it is to skim somebody's card details without them even knowing. So I built this. This is an RFID blocker and it works really well. So there's probably a few people out there wondering what RFID even stands for. And I can tell you that it means radio frequency identification, which is pretty cool. So how does RFID work? And an RFID tag can transmit data about a specific item through the radio waves in the air to a specific antenna or reader of some sort, or even a combination of the both. And the reason for this video is we want to avoid RFID skimming, and RFID skimming is a method of unlawfully obtaining somebody's card details for the RFID feature. So I'm going to build this now and I'll see you guys in a sec. So these are the materials that I've used. I would recommend doing some sort of customizations to this because this is relatively flexible in what you can use. I've used denim as the heavy duty material. This is available online in rolls, fairly cheap, fairly easy to get hold of. Next I've used is a tab binder. You can get this pretty much for any supermarket store, or you can go to places such as W.H. Smith, or you can get it online. Next, for the adhesive, I used a hot glue gun. These are available online as well for about £3 to £4 easily. For the rubberized texture to help the denim to stop fraying, I've used some Plastidip. This is available online as well, places from Amazon or eBay. You can get hold of it pretty easily. And last but not least, you're going to want Grafoil. This is the key to the RFID blocker. This is available from our web store at www.workingink.co.uk, and let's get into it. Okay, so the first step to make this RFID blocker is you want to get your Grafoil and some sort of tape. The tape I'm using is packing tape, and all you want to do is lay it on top to give the Grafoil some strength and integrity so it doesn't rip when you're laying it onto your actual wallet or sleeve, whatever you're building. And all you want to do is do this. So I'll come back once it's finished and I'll show you the finished result. So you want to do this both sides and then it's done. Okay, so now the tape is done both sides of the Grafoil, you can see that it gives it strength and nothing's going to happen to it. So all you want to do is trim this down to size and put it to one side. So I'll be back with the next part in a second. Okay, so now the Grafoil has been trimmed down to size, all you want to do is grab the material that you're using. For my case it would be the denim, and you want to lay it flat on top, and if your Grafoil is a bit too big, just outline around it and then cut it out. So I'll do that and then I'll be back. Now you've cut your Grafoil down to the size of whatever material you're using, you want to make sure that there's about ½ centimetre left around the edge, so you know that you're not going to be cutting it too big and it's going to make it easier to work with in the long run. So once that's done, all you want to do is glue this down. So I've got my hot glue gun, and how I usually do it is line it up, find the middle point and just lay some adhesive. So once that's glued down, I'll come back and I'll tell you the next part. This is the base of your RFID blocker. You can now put a card in there, fold it over and try to use it, and it will not work. So all the rest of the other stuff is just going to be purely cosmetic stuff to make it look pretty. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to get a little bit of electrical tape and just line the inside of this to, one, give it more strength, and two, to make it look a bit better than this, because you can clearly tell that this is just some packing tape. So I'll come back once I've done that so you can see the result. So there we go. Now it's lined with this electrical tape, it gives it more strength, makes it feel a bit more weighty and like a real product. So next what I would do is I would grab your tab binder, your separator tab. I don't know what these are called, but you would want to line it up with the tape, and you just want to outline exactly where half is and around. Cut that out, and then I'll show you the next part. And once you're happy with the size and the placement of your material that you're going to use here, all you want to do is grab your glue gun and just glue the very sides. Don't glue the top, because this is where the card is going to slot in. So all you want to do is line it up and glue the edges. And then you want to do that all the way around. So once I've done that, I'll come back and I'll show you the next part. Just a quick update. What I've done here is I've drawn a little cutout for finger holes. So when you put your card in and out, it makes this a lot easier. I'd recommend doing this as well. Okay, so now that's done, all you want to do is to make sure that your card fits in this pocket smoothly, as flush as possible, and if it's a bit tight, you might want to make your material a bit bigger, or if it's too loose, you might want to make it a bit smaller. But as long as it fits in there, you're on the right track. So next, all you want to do is pretty much do the same thing. And once that's marked out, all you want to do is cut it out, and then I'll show you the next step. So I'll be back. And you want to find the halfway point, and then go a centimetre. This is 7 centimetres. So you want to find the 3.5 mark, which is right here. And then you want to go a centimetre below it, or 1.5 centimetres below it, which is right there, and 1.5 centimetres above it, so right there. And once you've marked that out, all you want to do is make some lines. You don't want to cut the entire material, you just want to go for the middle part. So like this, and like this. So you don't want to make the full cut, but you want a cut that's big enough for a card to easily fit in. And all you want to do is make 2 of them. So your next part is to glue around the edges. You just want to make sure that you can actually put cards in and out of them. So just by literally, bam, there we go. So it fits in there really nicely. And the second slip, it fits in there really nicely too. You can push this all the way down if you want. It'll be a little bit difficult to get back out. Oh no, look at that, perfect size. So both of them fit in there really nicely. And this is pretty much almost the finished product. All we have to do now is get some sort of material, or if you're good at sewing will be able to do this as well. But what I do is I just paint around the edges to get all of this nice and sealed together, and to give it a nice texture. And what you're going to end up with is something like this, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to skip ahead, I'm going to start painting it, and I'll come back when it's dry so I can show you the finished result. So I'll see you guys in a sec. So here we go, here is the finished product. All I've done is I've painted the edges with some of this plaster dip right here, to give it some texture, some grip, and also just to make it look a bit more pretty than just normal denim. And there it is, that is finished. Now you can put your cards in it, and this will not be able to scan on any sort of contactless system. And I'll prove this by putting a video in a sec. I just wanted to show you the finished product first. So there it is, and that was fairly simple. The longest part of this is painting the plaster dip on, and that didn't even take too long either. So there it is, that's the first one. This is the one that we just made, and I'm going to put a video in now of me testing this one and showing that it works.
Select payment type. Please fully insert your card into the reader.
Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to put them in the comments. Maybe leave a like on the video, and I'll see you guys soon.